What is going on, everybody? This is Alex, and in this video I'll be doing a quick hands-on for the Batman by Grant Morrison Omnibus Volume 2. Like most of my previous videos, I'll be taking a look at where this material is previously collected and whether you should double or in some cases triple dip. Spoiler alert, the answer will be 110% yes if you own the first volume and want to get the full Grant Morrison experience for his entire Batman run. The second Omnibus volume can simply be broken into 4 separate segments. First is Time and the Batman from Batman 700, which features stories spotlighting each of the Batman from different eras: Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne. Second is R.I.P. The Missing Chapters from Batman issues 701 and 702, which addresses the missing events between R.I.P. and Final Crisis. Third is Grant Morrison's 16-issue run of Batman and Robin. And lastly, the 6-issue miniseries The Return of Bruce Wayne, where each chapter has Bruce in a different time period trying to make his way back to the present. Not counting the single issues on how I got these stories in the collected editions format was actually quite straightforward. First is the Time and the Batman standard hardcover, which collects Batman issues 700 to 703. This standard hardcover is now out of print, but you can easily pick up the equivalent trade paperback for about $10 from Amazon. Second is the oversized hardcover of The Return of Bruce Wayne, which is also out of print but also available as a trade paperback. And lastly, I have to give an honorable mention to this absolute edition of Batman and Robin, which is a pure gem to own, but sadly again this is out of print. Let's hope that DC reprints this right away. The Morrison Quietly combo here is such a joy to read in this extremely oversized format. That said, you can still pick up the trade paperbacks across 3 volumes, but if you get all 3, that's unfortunately approaching the price of the second volume omnibus when you factor in the 40% off you get from sites like InStock Trades. Now that the previously collected editions are out the way, let's dive right into this second volume omnibus. Damian Ryland, who did the design for the first volume, also knocked it out the park with this one. For the exterior design, we see an absolutely fantastic choice of using Frank Whiteley and Alex Sinclair's cover from Batman and Robin issue 7. Taking off the dust jacket, we see the consistent minimalist approach he used for volume 1 but inverted this time. I so prefer this approach opposed to the dreaded blackboards. And moving on to the interior for the first few pages, Damian definitely nailed it with his art selection, where it complements not only the titles but the heavy emphasis he gives with all the creators for every issue in this omnibus. The icing on the cake is that we get a table of contents which shows us the correct reading order. Maybe I am a bit jaded here from the 10th anniversary Blackest Night omnibus to find the table of contents as a plus here rather than a norm, but I still give them props for making one. Now for the binding, it is definitely consistent as the first volume and we see very little gutter loss. This is such a relief compared to what we saw from the 10th anniversary edition of the Blackest Night and even Detective 1000. Yes, Detective 1000s, I can't believe they did this here. It's absolutely great that DC decided to break Grant Morrison's run into 3 volumes opposed to 2 massive volumes. We definitely would have seen major gutter loss there if we had that. When we get to the center point of the book, you can see the eye really open up, which leads to the minimal gutter loss that we expect from the DC omnibuses or omnibuy. I can't sing enough praises here, even with the glue slightly coming undone, which is a bit of a concern. As for the paper stock, it's consistent with the previous volume and the recent omnibus releases. Absolutely no complaints here, and you can see as I traverse through the book, the art really shines here on these oversized pages. Checking out the extras, we see that the DC team perfectly thought out what to include here in the second volume and not just dump us everything from the previously collected editions. First, we get insight for each of the 16 covers for Batman and Robin for not only Frank Whiteley's main covers but also Fraser Irving's jaw-dropping variant of the Joker. Moving on, we see Whiteley's design for Dick, Bat and Robin, the Batmobile and the Red Hood and the Scarlet. I also loved how we got the whole suite of designs for the Batman and Robin logo, which frankly I find one of the most iconic Batman titles to date. I can definitely see where the inspiration for the new Detective Comics logo came from. There is even more insight into the heroes and villains chosen for this Batman and Robin run before the extras moves on to the return of the Bruce Wayne pencils, sketches and layouts. And for the last few pages we get the Batman operational files and a Batman 700 variant cover by Mike Mignola. This is a bit strange that they put this at the back of the extras section without a cover gallery rather than with issue 700 within the chapters. And for my final thoughts here, we can see that everything is on point like the first volume, with the production company that DC hired didn't drop the ball, so I would definitely say this is a must buy, especially that Morrison has no doubt produced one of the most epic Batman runs to date. Now, for what we can expect from the third and last volume would be kicking off with the one-shot Batman The Return, and then all the issues of Batman Incorporated pre and post New 52. This Batman Incorporated run also includes 2 one-shots. Given what you have seen here on what the second volume brings to the table, will you be picking this up? And if you don't own the first volume, will you be dropping some hard-earned cash for both volumes? Sound off in the comments below on what you all think. As always, a special thanks to you all for your continued support here on YouTube and Instagram as well. This is Alex, and I'll catch you in the next video.